Let's learn best practices for teaching young English learners. Avoid teaching grammar rules to very young learners. Young children do not need long grammar explanations. Instead of teaching grammar rules, help them learn language naturally through stories, songs, games, and everyday conversations. Children acquire grammar by hearing and using it repeatedly in meaningful situations. For example, instead of explaining the present continuous tense, say, I am jumping, she is running, and let children perform the actions. Teach language structures instead of grammar terminologies. Young learners can use correct language without knowing grammatical terms. Focus on helping them use useful sentence patterns instead of memorizing grammar rules. For example, teach structures like can I have, I like, this is my, and I can see through classroom activities and role play. Avoid meta language with young children. Meta language is the language we use to talk about language, such as noun, verb, adjective, subject, predicate. These terms are often too abstract for young learners. Introduce them gradually as children grow older and are ready to understand them. For example, instead of saying find the adjectives, ask can you find the describing words? Teach language chunks. Children learn language more naturally when they learn whole phrases instead of single words. These phrases are called language chunks or formulaic expressions. Learning chunks helps children speak more fluently and confidently. For example, teach expressions such as how are you, I'm fine, thank you, may I come in, I don't know, and see you tomorrow. Recycle and bridge learning. Children learn best when they meet the same language many times in different situations. Teachers should regularly review previous learning and connect it to new lessons. This process is called recycling or bridging. For example, if students learned colors last week, use those colors while teaching animals by asking what color is the elephant or can you find the green frog? Avoid abstract vocabulary in the early years. Young children understand words they can see, touch, hear, or experience more easily than abstract ideas. Begin with concrete vocabulary before introducing more difficult concepts. For example, teach words like apple, dog, chair, happy before introducing words such as freedom, justice, and responsibility. Avoid mindless drilling. Repetition is important, but repeating words without meaning quickly becomes boring and ineffective. Children remember language better when repetition is meaningful and enjoyable. For example, instead of repeating a word 20 times, practice it through songs, games, storytelling, role play, and classroom routines. Teach reading systematically. Reading should develop step by step. Children should first recognize letter names and letter sounds, then blend sounds to make words, read simple sentences, and gradually move to longer texts. For example, children first learn the sounds ka, cha, then blend them to read the words cat. Before reading the sentence, the cat is sleeping. Focus on phonetics and phonology. Good pronunciation is built from the beginning. Teachers should help children hear and produce English sounds accurately while also developing natural speech. This includes individual sounds, phonetics, and sound patterns, phonology, word stress, sentence stress, rhythm, connected speech, and intonation. These features help learners sound clearer and understand spoken English more easily. For example, children should learn that present noun and present verb have different word stress and they should practice asking questions with rising intonation. Use age-appropriate activities. Children learn best when lessons match their developmental stage. Younger learners need movements, songs, stories, games, hand-on activities. Older learners can gradually complete longer tasks that require planning and independent thinking. For example, 6-year-olds may enjoy acting out a story, while 11-year-olds can prepare a short presentation. Encourage meaningful communication. The goal of learning English is communication, not simply memorizing vocabulary or grammar rules. Give children many opportunities to listen, speak, ask questions, and express their ideas in English. For example, instead of asking students to copy 10 sentences from the board, ask them to interview a classmate using simple questions they have learned. Give projects to older learners. As children become more independent, project-based learning helps them apply English in meaningful ways. Projects projects encourage creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and responsibility. For example, older learners can create portfolios of their work, keep journal, prepare posters, conduct simple surveys, write book reviews, and give short presentations. These activities help students use English for real communication rather than simply completing exercises.